A tech-savvy rider implemented new technology to modify his 2015 GL 1800 Honda Goldwing. That Goldwing later became known as Black Flash, an extreme lighting show bike. What's going on, YouTube? This is Carnell. You're a tech-savvy rider. Today is Saturday, roughly around 3 o'clock, I believe. I'm starting the hitch assembly for my trailer. I started working on this assembly, and then I realized I wasn't recording, so I backed up and started back recording. I'll go back over what I did so far. Yesterday, when I unboxed the trailer from the crate, I posted a video. The video was pretty long because I was doing everything by myself, didn't have no help. I checked out a couple of you all comments, and yeah, I really appreciate everything everyone said. And one of the comments was saying something like, "Hey man, you're breathing hard. Be careful out there." Hey, I really appreciate that comment because you hit it dead on the head. It was hot out here, man. I was out here trying to do this stuff myself. So what I did today was put up me a little shed. You know, I jerry rigged me a little shed so I can have some shed to work on, work on my bike under some shed instead of being out here in the sun like I was. So yeah, you called that one, my man. I was hurting out here. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and go what I've done so far. I'm getting ready to do the hitch assembly for the bike. The first thing I had to do was remove my seat. The reason I'm not demonstrating to remove the seat, of course, like I said, I realized I was working on the bike and I wasn't recording, so I'm going back over and tell everybody what I did so far. Alright, first thing first, I removed the seat. You know, of course, your seat has your two bolts on both sides, or your handles. Once you remove those, you unplug, you reach up, unplug your seat from the heat wire right there, and remove your seat. Second thing you need to do is remove your side covers. Of course, you got to open up your saddlebags to do that. Remove your side covers. Mine is wired, so I have to leave them as close to the bike as possible. Third thing you need to do is remove your rear fender. Your rear fender has 4 bolts in it, one on each corner, and then one on the bottom sides at the bottom. That's the third thing you got to remove. I highly recommend removing your cable for your tail light back there. You know, it's a quick disconnect on it, so all you gotta do is pull it off. Pull it out. The fourth thing you gotta do for us getting the bike prepared is come back and remove your passenger foot, your passenger foot brace back here. It has 3 bolts. I had started on mine, so I only got one left. 1, 2, 3. You got to remove it, and then you also have to remove your saddlebag guard. I already removed one. So I'm putting everything up under here so I can get ready. You do that on both sides. I already did my other side. Like I said, I was working on the bike when I realized I wasn't recording. Alright, now according to the instructions, from this point on, I'll be going by the instructions. So once I understand what the instructions are telling me, I'll come back. So this is going to be a stop and go recording. I'm going to try to shorten this up as much as possible so it won't be as long as the uncrating of the unboxing of the trailer. So I'll be able to stop and start for us the next step. I already know what my next step is. Under the guardrail, the saddlebag guard, it has a 12mm socket, a 12mm bolt. That bolt has to come out. Now be careful when you remove this bolt. I'm trying to show you what it is. Be careful when you remove this bolt, according to the instructions, because it's saying that it could possibly, the saddlebag could possibly slide. So I'm gonna get it out the way. I started loosening it up already, so that's why I'm able to turn it with my hand. Alright, being very quick as possible, you're gonna take out the 12mm bolt that come stock on the bike, and you're going to replace it with the package, which is, this is a 8mm by 35mm. Of course, I gotta find me some Loctite right quick, put it on the screw, and then put it on. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, once you take out the 12mm bolt, once you take it out, you're gonna replace it with the Bushtec 8mm by 35mm bolt here. It's according to the instructions. Every bolt that you're replacing, of course, you have to put a little Loctite on it. You took it out with a 12mm, but it's going to go in. The new one is going to be going in with a 13mm. Don't force the bolt according to the instructions, just in case it did shift on you. So what I'm going to do is hand tighten it to get it in. To make sure it goes through. And then it's supposed to be torqued to your manual specifications. I'm not torquing anything right now. I'm just slowly tightening it up. Me personally, I'm not going to go by the torque specs or the book, because I'm not going to look it up. I just go by how hard it took for me to remove it. I'm going to put that much force back into it on tighten it back up. I got a torque wrench around here somewhere, but my concern right now is to just get it in. That's about how much force it took for me to take it off, and that's how much I'm putting back on. I'm gonna use to put it back on. Now, next thing needs to happen for us, the instructions. I open up the hitch kit, and this is everything that came with the kit. I'm not gonna even begin trying to even pretend I know what half of this stuff name is. But according to the instructions, I'm gonna take the bar that has a straight edge to it, which is this one, and I got to come in through the back, going all the way back up through the front, and align it with that bolt that I just put in. So once I figured it out, I'll go ahead and start back recording. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, YouTube, I'm up under the bike now. This left hoop arm, the best way I could get it in here was to come through the bottom, up under the tailpipe, and then put this first nut on, where that screw, that 13mm screw I had put in is holding it. And then I had to come down to this end and put in a U-bolt around the subframe of the bottom of the Goldwing here, and then you use a U-bolt washer and nut to hold it in place. Alright, the same way I did this left side. It says, according to the instruction, don't tighten it yet. Just make sure it's a good fit for as you got it in there. But it says don't tighten it yet. Alright, now I'm done with the left side. I have to do this same thing I just did to this left side over to the right side. I got to do it on the right side. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, now we're on the right side. We got to do the same thing for the right side. Take out the 12mm bolt. Okay, I felt that one move. So I'm gonna have to be careful with this one. Put in a 13mm bolt. A little Loctite. Alright, like I said, I felt this one move, so I gotta be careful. And slowly try to put it back in. Let's see if I can pick up on it, because I felt this one move. Like I said, don't force it, cause if it moves, you're gonna strip the bolt. And the last thing you need to do is strip the bolt, cause if it get in there and break, the removal is gonna be pretty hectic. I slowly try to line it up with my hand. Okay. Let me back out with that one. Let's see if I can get directly up under the bike. Okay, now that one feels a little bit straight. Pushing back on it. Oops. It moved on me. Take it back out. Yep. You gotta be careful. The last thing you want to do is strip the boat. And the instruction did say the right side would probably be the one to give you a little oh, I'm gonna have to do this right. Yep. Whew. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, I'm back now. Just because the saddlebag did move on me, I'll share with you what I had to do. I had to take me a crowbar and stick it in between the two holes for us the saddlebag brace and the brace for the saddlebag guard. I used the crowbar here to align the hole back up, and then once I got the hole line back up, I was able to get the screw in. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's good to go. Okay, all right, it's tight. And so now continue on with getting the right side bar in. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, I'm on the right side. The right side trailer, I'm not gonna lie, it is a straight up beer. And the only way I could actually get this joker up in here was to take my sweet time, and thankfully I got small enough hands to deal with this side screw for this brace, because there's no room for you to stick your hand up under here or a wrench except for this backside going through this way. And you gotta basically stick the nut between the nut between two fingers and trying to get it back there for it to get tightened. Well, for it to get on there. Alright, now the next step, let me find out what that is. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, it says the next step is to loosely assemble the receiver center section to the hoop arms using the supplied 3/8 bolts and the nuts. Make sure the tension bolt is facing to the rear. Okay. Okay, this is the tension bolt, and here's the supplied screws and nuts. So let me get them in here. It says do not tighten. So let me it didn't give me any specific direction on which way the should be going in or out, so and I'm guessing I'm gonna find out. Okay, yep, I found out. They're gonna have to go in this way because the bolts in the front the bolts in the back cannot go through, so they have to go facing the other direction, which I guess makes sense. Okay. Some things you just gotta play with and figure out. And that was one of them. Okay, it's in and loose. Like I said, can't tighten nothing up yet, but it's in there. Alright, on to the next step. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, YouTube, the next step I gotta do, I gotta try to install the strut. The strut has to go down between the fender, inside of the on the inside of the saddlebag. Between the saddlebag and the inside fender. The two bolts that got to come off after you remove your clamps for your wiring harness. You definitely got to get that out of the way. The bolt that it's referring to is the bolt that's right above the trunk. It's a 12mm bolt. Try to get this wiring harness out the way. Hopefully you can see it. That's it right there. As you can see, the bolt is currently going inside out. That's a 12mm bolt. I have to take the bolt out on both sides, but I can only do it one at a time. And it's recommended to only do one at a time. I'm guessing this is another one of them pressure points where something probably would come loose. I'm just guessing. Okay. Try to get it off. Hopefully I don't drop it. And I'm starting on the right side, since the right side has always been giving me trouble. And I'm going to be very smart about this one. As I push that one out, I'll be replacing it with this one. And I'm going to go behind it, so when one come out, the other one will be going in. So it won't drop on me like the saddlebag did. Hopefully this will work. Trying to use my head and be smart about it. If it don't work, I can easily push that bag back through. Push that. Alright, try it again. One coming out. and the cable is in the way, so while one is coming out, the other one is going in. Phew. And this wiring harness is trying to stop me. I think I got it. Yep. Trying to be smart about that one. Got it. So as one was coming out, the other one was going in. Okay, I gotta get the washer for this one. And then I gotta try to stuff this strut down there. Be right back. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, now this is gonna be the hard part. I gotta play around with my wiring harness so I can get this strut down in between the saddlebag and the fender, so I can line it up. And I basically can't see nothing, so here I am trying to play, trying to force the strut down there by filling the cable to make sure there's nothing there as I force it down. Alright, to make sure we're on the same sheet of music, the strut has to go down with the angle side going out, going in that direction. So I have to get it down in the seat by moving these wiring harness out the way and trying to feel my way down in there without pinching my wiring harness, so I won't mess anything up. And this, like I said, is going to be the hard part. I'm trying to do it because I'm familiar with the wiring harness and where it lays. But if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend for you to move as much cable as possible so you can see. Let me start back over and make sure I got me on clean sight. I'm getting the strut down in there. And like I said, this will be the hard part. I knew that from the start. Pull one cable apart. Let's try to slide it in. I'm filling the other cable. Okay, I'm about to give up because I can't see. I see a clean pad, but trying to get the wiring harness out the way. One more time. Slide in. Feel for the harness. Oh, I got it. Alright, now make sure my wiring is clear out the way. Now the bolt itself, I gotta push it enough through where I can get my spacer in there. I'm hoping I don't drop it. My 1/4 spacer, 1/4 spacer. Alright, once I got it in there, now I gotta try to get this strut down enough to connect to that bolt. And like I said, I knew this was going to be the hard part. see if I can get something like this other strut. Let me grab a screwdriver. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Need something I can hold it to make sure I line it up. Using a screwdriver to like hold it in place. Stop me from dropping it. Let's see if I use this. Crowbar. So as I lower it, when you're doing stuff yourself, ain't nothing easy. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, I got the right side in and didn't realize I wasn't recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving and go to the left side and just show you how I did the right side from the left side. Both sides it's gonna be the same. Alright, like I said, you're gonna take your 5/16 along with a washer. You're gonna try your best to maneuver the bolt down in between your wires. What you're trying to do is use your 5/16 bolt and push it through to come out the main frame here. While you pushing in one bolt, you're pushing out the other one. I'm only doing it because I'm scared something might move on me like the saddlebag did. So I'm gonna just keep it like that. My wiring is gonna be a lot different than yours because I got all this. I got all the rolling eyes light wiring in here, along with a whole lot of other wiring that I've been doing. So hopefully yours is not as difficult as mine as trying to maneuver between the wires. Okay, so here we go. Push one, pull the other one. And like I said, the most difficult part will be trying to maneuver between the cables here. Got it. Alright, while I push one in, the other one came out. Okay, now the bolt you just put in is going from the outside in, so it should be the bolt itself, the washer, it should be the subframe, the main frame, and then at the end of the bolt you got your 1/4 spacer you got to put in. So let me back the boat off just a little bit to try to get it off in there. I'm hoping I don't drop it. Okay, I got the spacer in there. Now, here's the hard part. You got to get the strut down into the seat. The strut has to go with the curve end up, and you got to maneuver it with the inner saddlebag and the inner fender. You can't see anything, so you're gonna have to basically just stick it in there and just maneuver it around till you can find your opening. Don't do any forcing, cause there's no but cables back here. Once you find your opening, turn it and just let it go. Slowly get it down in. Hopefully you all can see this. Alright, once you get it down there close enough to the washer, you're gonna have to maneuver the strut, because the strut is also, and what I was having a problem with on the right side, once the strut went down far enough, it was going down hitting up against the frame of where it need to go. So let me just try my best to get it close to where it needs to go, so I know it's okay. Hopefully you all can see that. Here's the strut here, and I'm trying to bring it to the inner side. Of the mount where it needs to go. So it needs to go on the inner side of the hitch back there. So I'm trying to maneuver and get it all lined up. I probably gonna need that jack iron. That's a lot of force holding it. So I'm taking my jack iron and slowly moving it over. So I can have enough. Yeah, I got it lined up. Alright, once I got it close enough to the spacer, I gotta slowly keep lining it up and then push the boat through. I'm gonna take a break for right now. I'm not gonna string myself out today. GoPro, start recording. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. There is no easy way to get this strut in here. I just got through beating it with a hammer and it just went through. Alright, so once the boat do go through, you gotta add another washer. and then the nut to go to it. Hoping I don't drop it. It's so easy to do. Move my cabling out the way so I can get the nut in. Okay. Alright, got it in. So from the outside going in, I'll use the right side right quick. You got the bolt itself, you got the washer, you got the subframe, you got the main frame, you got the 1/4 spacer, the strut, another washer, and then the nut on both sides. So the bolts are going toward the inner side. Okay, now the next thing to do is to connect the struts coming from under the seat, going back down to the hitch. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, now the last step is to get the struts. Get the struts mounted, and then this will complete the process of installing the hitch for all the connections. Now I have to go back through. The strut needs to be connected with the bolt going inside out. If I got time, I can do this. Okay, inside out. That's one side. Don't know if y'all can see anything with the cables all in the way, because I can barely see myself. Okay, inside out. Now get the nuts on. Okay, now that completes the actual connection for the hitch. Now all the bolts that I have added, nuts and bolts that I have added to the hitch, I got to go back and start tightening them down. The first one being the 4 that's on the receiver here. Those are the first ones I got to start with. So let me get some wrenches and I'll start tightening all the bolts down. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, YouTube. Now once you got the struts in place, it's time to go back and tighten up all the bolts. Starting with the receiver, you have 4 bolts on the receiver. You have to tighten those down. Your next step, after you tighten the receiver bolts down, you have to go back to your U-joints that's holding up on your side, the side where you put your long bars to hold the receiver in place. Those are connected by U-bolts. Hopefully you all can see it. Those are the next things you have to do. You have to do both U-bolts. I'm trying to see if you can see them. on both sides. Alright, once you do your U-bolts, you have to go back and come up and then tighten down your strut bolts. After you tighten down your strut bolts, you go back up to the front. The bolts that you remember for the front of the saddlebag, now these the only one that they recommend that you put Loctite on. So put Loctite on the bolt, on the screw, and then bolt it down on both sides. And then the last thing you need to do is come up to your seat bolts while holding the struts in place and tighten both of those down. I didn't use any type of torque specific number. I just tightened it until I couldn't turn anymore. The same type of pressure I used to take them off, I tried to use that same type of pressure to put them back on. Alright, YouTube, that concludes the hitch installation, the Bushtec hitch installation for the Goldwing. Now the only thing left is the receiver head and the wiring harness. That'll be my next video. That's my spiel for today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one. GoPro, stop recording.